Hey there, y'all. This is Jack, and today we're discussing Kagurabachi, Chapter 23, Storehouse. And alright, I gotta give it to the mangaka here. He knows what he's doing. You can't just slash away out of every situation. He gave Chihiro a very, very difficult choice here to make. And Kiora is becoming a very, very interesting villain. I still like Sojo, but we'll see in the future, right? Because I love it when my villains are intelligent. So yeah, Kiora, yeah. Well, let's just dive into the review, shall we? All right, and you guys know the drill. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's just dive right in, shall we? And if you guys have not read this series, it's pretty dang good so far. All right, so give it a shot. All right, so yeah, first page we get one of the helps just making tea, as Kiora said. Bring it within 10 minutes. I'm very interested in what will become of that. I don't think the manga is showing this for no reason, but again, we'll see. As Kiora just says, if I tell you, will you leave? As he said in the last chapter, that if I'll tell you where the sacred blade is and everything, will you leave? And of course, that's not gonna roll well with Chihiro. As yeah, Kiora just essentially is like, yeah, I can't beat you guys in the conflict. There's no way I can beat you guys. And yeah, Chihiro's essentially like, yeah, so tell us where the sword is. And Kyora's like, well, hold on a sec. Let me see. Like, not let me see, but let me look at that blade, because that blade is very interesting. That's the seventh secret sword that your father made, and I'm very, very curious to how it is and everything. Again, because these swords are sacred blades, very, very dangerous. Then we get Shiba just watching him. Kiora is just thinking to himself that he even knows Chihiro's name. Did the Commodore leak it or something? It stinks here. That aside, faced with an enemy wielding a sacred blade in his private chambers, this guy is eerily calm. So, yeah, Shiba, like, he noticed something's already off here. Like, this guy, like, for two people that are here to take him out and get the sacred blade, yeah. Kaira is very, very, you know, very chill about the moment. Then we cut to Hakuri essentially explaining, what's to come, in worst case scenario. Hakuri just essentially says that you gotta watch when they're there. They have to watch out for the toe, because they're the Shinzanumi's clan special defense corps. The tower essentially, like, they're essentially like the royal guards. Like, they're the ones, if you're gonna fight someone that's very strong, like, it's gonna be them. And Shiba, gets the idea. Well, if you're with us, they'll probably, let us sneak in easier. And no, that's not how it works. As poor Hakari essentially says, no, since I ran away, yeah, when they see me, they'll more than likely kill me. So that's why they left Hakari back at base camp. And yeah, I feel bad for this kid, man. And then we come back to modern times as Hakari, uh, sorry, Kiori, excuse me. He essentially says, well, if you want the Zanuchi, I'd appreciate it if you doing the proper thing and bidding on it. And Chiyo's like, what do you mean by proper? The Suzuki is my dad's. And Kiora points, and she was surprised to see this too, that we see the blade in the case right behind Chiro. Chiro sees that he remembers his dad, but then he snaps out of it, reaches for the sword. It phases through. And Kiori's like, yeah, that was just a mirage. I'm projecting. I'm showing you that's here, but it's a projection. Then he essentially says, yeah, there's a great price on life, but a weapon that takes life has a great price on it too. And as he's about to reveal something, Shiba gets into motion, but yeah, Cheeto beats him to it as Cheeto puts the blade right at Kari's neck, and Kari's just like, or else you'll kill me. As Cheeto's like, yeah, you better tell me where the storehouse is. And Kiori's like, well, that's tricky. Wouldn't I say it's inside me? As we cut to an area where they're inside a massive, looks like a warehouse. What warehouse? We currently do not know at the moment. And as that's happening, yeah, Cheeto is getting very, very agitated with this as Kiori explains his power. Essentially, it's essentially that as long as he exists, the power exists too. This is the family secret, and he controls it. And if he were to die, everything in the storehouse would essentially disappear too. And Shiba does kind of think about this, thinking, well, we can't really know that 100%. So yeah, Shiba comes up and is like, all right, then we'll just take you and essentially pull out your fingernails till you're ready to tell us. And Kari's like, okay, yeah, I guess you could do that. But before I do give up anything, I could destroy or rip apart what's in the warehouse. So if you want to do that to me, who knows? I could probably just, shred everything in here because you know what? In the end, my techniques is more important than any of these here because my technique is not replaceable like everything in here. And we see that there's humans in here that are going to be trafficked and it's very dark. And Shiba and Cheeto just kind of like realize, okay, yeah, it could be a bluff, but we can't take the risk. As Cheeto just lowers his blade and says, we can't gamble with other humans' lives. And Kari is like, now thank goodness you're both clever and benevolent. It's hard on the heart breathing one's hand. And then Shiba realizes, like, wait a minute. Only direct descendant of the Zazamai clan, every member of the Zazamai family clan has been seen the warehouse. It's impossible for outsiders like you to sit inside. If he's been truthful, both the storehouse, does that mean Hakuri could interfere? As he remembers what Hakari said, I have zero talent for sorcery. My father disowned me. As he remembers, it seems like it's pretty slim hope. And then, jeez, man. And then Kiora is essentially like, well, let's withdraw for now. Cheeto says Chiba, and Kari says no. The tables have turned. As the Toe arrive, three of them, not four. But Korea says, you burst into my house, uninvited. At least leave a gift behind, referring to Cheeto's sword. And Shiva just watches it. Says the elite forces. First, he drains our desire to fight, and then he takes the offensive. Wait. As Kiara says, where's Soya? And one of them says, not feeling well. Another one says, no, that's not it. He's still looking for Hakuri. And she was like, Hakuri, just thinking his mind. As Kari says, "Ah, when will he learn? Can the three of you handle this?" And then one says, well, let's find out as he gets ready to throw down with Cheeto. Obviously, Cheeto and Chiba's going to win, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be more exciting than when we see them going up against, large groups of rabble rascals. Then we get, oh boy, Hakari just walking around, actually going back as he was getting something for Hanao, getting some supplies for her. And as he's doing that, he's thinking to himself about the conversations they had with Chido and Shiba. And then he bumps into Sonya as he's just has a terrified look as he sees his big brother. And Sonya just says, Hakuri, I've been looking for you. So, end of chapter. And oh boy, as I said at the beginning of this review, yeah, Cheeto just can't slash his way out of this situation. He's got to think about it. He cannot strike down Koira. Even though as easily as that would be, if you do it, everything that he has stored away in his inner realm would probably disappear. So that's very very unfortunate. Not to mention there's humans, innocent humans in there, and I do feel that if push came to shove, like let's say there's no humans inside the storehouse, Cheeto would probably be more willing to kill Koira because that way no one will be able to get the sacred sword, and if it just turned out to be a bluff, then the storehouses would just be there still, and they could go get them. But again, we don't know if it's a bluff. It could be, to be honest. If not, that's a pretty dang good OP power. But yeah, I totally believe that. Hakuri's probably gonna put up a fight against his brother. He's probably gonna manifest his powers, but he's obviously gonna get beat. And then with Cheeto and Shiba, I think they're gonna fight for a bit, and I think they're probably more likely gonna withdraw with Shiba's ability. I I could see Cheeto and Shiba killing probably one or two of these guys, the Tao, but maybe one lives and we get another rematch during the auction. But who knows, right? But let me give this chapter review a score, and I'm gonna give this chapter a good solid 8 out of 10. Really good, really enjoyable, and I really like it. And it got me hyped for next week. All right. So yeah, that concludes my review. And if you listen this far, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day and take care. Later.